Well, my name is Abe Chavez, and I'm in the fly fishing business, really known all over the country for fishing. I've been on the San Juan River here since 1958 in business. I run Abe's Fly Shop. I wasn't born here, but my grandmother lived this next ranch next to, and I'd come in the summer times and spend the summer here because I like to ride horses and I like to fish the river. There was no trout in them days, but there was a lot of nice catfish because the water was warmer, and after they built the dam, the water got real cold and it's full of trout now. But this San Juan Basin here, since they started in 1950, it's actually been a gradual little boom all through it. It's been a great place. But in 1949 it started because my granddad had oil rights and he sold them, so I know it was then because he bought him a brand new Studebaker with what he sold.
The San Juan Basin in northwest New Mexico has a rich diversity of wildlife: deer, elk, and wild horses, and numerous species of birds and fish. There's a vast wealth of cultural resources, historic and prehistoric, as well as substantial deposits of natural gas. A notice of intent was submitted in February of 2009 to conduct a 3D seismic survey in the San Juan Basin's Rosa unit, with the Bureau of Land Management as the lead agency. Cooperating agencies included the Bureau of Reclamation, New Mexico State Lands, New Mexico State Parks, New Mexico State Game and Fish, and the U.S. Forest Service.
Our working relationship with not only Green River, but I'm going to say industry in general, has been pretty darn good. They're great corporate partners. They want to develop their leases in an environmentally responsible manner, and they've been great to come to the table with and to visit with. They want to do the right thing. Sometimes we get into some conflict where we have other resources that we're responsible for managing, in addition to oil and gas leases, but we're always usually able to work most of those issues out. Environmentally, yeah, as far as the actual disturbance on the ground, it's fairly minimal. But there are some other issues, and each district's going to have their own issues that they're going to need to work with on various things. And here it just happens to be the high-density archaeological sites.
Before the seismic people get out in the field, they have to do a inventory of the entire project area. We follow those lines and we look for any sites that they may cross and identify where they are. And then a plan is written up to avoid those sites entirely.
In the months leading up to the start of operations, the cooperating agencies develop conditions of approval as part of the permit. A pre-work conference allows the agency personnel to interact with the seismic crew. The stipulations are discussed in detail to ensure that all of the mitigating measures designed to protect the multiple resources are integrated into the operation. There's no off-road travel period, there's no ATVs, you guys know that already. And the reason there is because of archaeology. Everything out here is driven by archaeology.
You park on the road, a wide spot in the road, but you do not get off the road, not even put one set of tires on.
So we have the same respect for the flora and fauna and history and prehistory that most of y'all do. And that's the way we try and conduct our operations. Our policy is to leave no trace of our passing.
So I appreciate you all coming, and thank you. If there's any questions or whatever, please ask, and we'll help you out with that.
And maybe we'll do, I'll talk to them, maybe we'll end up doing this side of the lake, maybe we'll go this way and work that way, and then you'll be freed up for the cable laying out.
Which guy, we don't like this out.
As additional crew personnel arrive, the permit conditions are repeated. International crews are instructed in multiple languages. Nosotros trabajamos con permiso del Gobierno de Estados Unidos. We work by the permission of the federal government on this job. There is no private land. It's all government land. The number one thing out here is archaeology.
Número uno es las áreas arqueológicas.
You'll see things, you'll see arrowheads and pieces of pottery and all kinds of things in places, and it's all over the place.
Van a mirar flechas arqueológicas, flechas que están ahí tiradas en el...
You cannot pick up any of it. Heliportable drilling equipment arrives by truck and is offloaded in a previously disturbed area, such as a well pad. 7 a.m. Crew members attend a daily safety meeting before going to the field. Safety issues, operational plans, and permit conditions are addressed. Agency personnel are always welcome.
Might not have the rake with you, but then go ahead and kick the dirt out, make it look good. We built some little external baskets that go right on the side of the compressor, and they've got a lid. They're just wire mesh with a lid and a latch. All your plastic and loose stuff will go into there.
If you guys see anything that doesn't make sense, that isn't supposed to be, you got a lot of dead animals, you got somebody out there with a gun, whatever it is, just let us know.
Heliportable drilling operation generally consists of 5 to 10 of these heliportable rigs, a dozen well-trained guys working in driller help repairs, a staging area coordinator and a line coordinator, combined with one highly skilled helicopter longline pilot. The light footprint of the rig allows us to work in environmentally sensitive areas, the transient nature of it, minimal impact to any local wildlife, very light impact to the environment.
Here at the LZ, I supply everybody with their drills, compressors, the powder, fuel. We do maintenance here, and it's the primary source of communication through the hill with the guys up there on the shot points. Anything goes wrong, questions, up here in our base station, we can reach out and communicate with them.
The 3D seismic survey consists of a grid of source and receiver points. Energy is created at the source point and recorded at the receiver points. 2 types of sources are used: fiber size on existing roads and dynamite shot holes in off-road areas. Heliportable drills bore a 3-inch diameter hole 40 feet deep, and a small explosive charge is loaded.
In
the old days, let's go back 40 years, there would be a road bladed in here and trucks would drive down that road. And we've graduated from that kind of impact to what you're seeing in this video. Nothing left but human footprints and a minor disturbance where the drill hole was.
You know, I think seismic's changed quite a bit. This helicopter drilling, and I think with today's technology, it's a lot less intrusive than it used to be. I think if there's any Forest Service folks watching this particular video, the technology is there where it's very little impact on the land. You may have to get in and start mitigating with some of the other resource concerns that are on your particular district to work with, but the companies are there, they're going to help you work through those issues, and they're there to help out on any seismic project. At least that's been my experience.
The drilling of the source holes, I didn't really have any idea what that was going to look like at all, and I was pretty amazed at the extremely minimal amount of impact they had on the sites or any place that they drilled. I see wild horses do more damage than that every day out here.
This is shot point 800-444. It was drilled about 5 months ago in November, and it's been sitting patiently waiting for the recording crew to come along. When it was drilled, the area was raked, the cuttings were raked, and the grass seed was spread, and it's recovered quite nicely. When I take this stake away, it'll look pretty much like its original condition. Agency personnel are encouraged to visit the field operations early and often. A thorough understanding and close interaction will help to ensure that permit conditions are being met. Third-party environmental monitors can be a valuable addition to the agency oversight, acting as quality assurance, quality control, or QA/QC. The QA/QC monitor will report directly to the managing agency.
This one has been detonated?
Has been, because the stick's gone, the flag's gone. Because we're on game and fish on this hole, this is one that was drilled less than a week ago. We'll find some other ones that'll still have the sticks, or they won't, but they will have been drilled last November, and you'll see the difference.
The overall impression of the project has led me to believe it's had some very minimal impact on the surrounding environment. I didn't realize how transparent it actually would be.
The recording equipment is delivered to the staging area by truck, where it is placed in the nylon reinforced cache bags and flown to the receiver point by helicopter longline. The crew members unpack the bag and deploy the equipment on foot. The seismic energy source is received by a sensitive detector called a geophone. The geophones, mounted on 4-inch spikes, are stomped into place and connected to a cable. The cable carries the recorded data to the recording truck, also known as the doghouse.
la escalera, ¿no? Eche, güey. Vente, güey, no, échame la mano. Échame la caída. La caída. Dame la mano. Sí. Okay.
For an operator to get a large geophysical project approved on public lands today, they have to apply a full suite of best management practices. Those can be found on the BLM's national website. They can also be found on the IAGC's national website. In this particular project, there were several that were applied and are being applied now. First of all vibrator actions were done on existing roads and trails. No off-road travel by anyone, ATVs, UTVs, or troubleshooters. Smooth tread on the vibrator tires. All remote locations that had to be shot, they were accessed by heliportable drilling, and everyone walked to those points. And then finally, they required and applied a full-time environmental monitor such as myself to make sure that all of the permit conditions were fully complied with.
Yeah, if that chopper's gonna be down for a while, we'll throw this stuff in the fast boat and head up there.
Ahí está el bote dice que está en la... No se va a bajar ahí, Marcos. Nomás le va a dejar equipo ahí con la bolsa, una bolsa.
At the doghouse, advanced electronics monitor the performance of each individual geophone. All logistics, equipment status, and source point detonation are controlled at the doghouse by the observer. Detailed maps are created specifically for each seismic project. The maps will show land ownerships, terrain features, roads, pipelines, and other infrastructure, and special permit considerations, such as a big game closure. Each source and receiver point has been surveyed, marked on the ground with a pin flag, and annotated on the map. The crew members must place the equipment accurately at the predetermined location.
Hey, my name is Jose. I'm working with Geokinetics. I've been working with this company for about 15 years. I'm the one who coordinates everything on the field. Everybody answers for recorder, and this is where the data comes from the field. Hold on, let me just a second, let me guide this. So I have to send the chopper to the landing to pick up some cables. Just a second. Achu, Marcos.
My name is Dusty Vasquez, and I'm a shooter. Right now we are fixing to start shooting. I like to do this job, shooting.
The shooters arrive at the shot hole. The firing line is connected to the loaded hole and extended out to a safe distance. The shot station information is relayed to the doghouse. On command from the doghouse, the shooter arms the pack, and the doghouse initiates the source detonation and geophone recording simultaneously.
This heliportable shot hole is an excellent example of a best management practice. You'll notice the minimal impact. You saw that the shooting was done, and this is what it looks like after everything is completed. There'll be no further action on this site.
Muy poco.
17.
As a soil scientist, I'm concerned about impacts to the soil surface. This large tire behind me produces about 10 pounds per square inch, but also, and probably as important, is the lack of aggressive tread on this tire. You notice the diamond plate tread, very low impact to the soil surface and to the vegetation. What you've just seen in the last piece of video is a best management practice from the vibrators. They're running on the road, and the only impact you see is this pad here in front of me. Believe it or not, that only represents about 15 pounds per square inch of compression, and that's about equivalent to what you would get from a pickup truck driving down the road.
After the shot holes and vibrator points have been recorded and the geophones are no longer needed, the crew members return to the receiver point one last time. Cables and geophones are picked up by hand and returned to the cache bag, and picked up by the helicopter for the return to staging. All remaining survey flagging is removed.
Seismic exploration is no longer an optional technique in the exploration of oil and gas, but it's a necessary action. In times past, when you would drill a wildcat well, you could expect to get maybe 1 well out of 10 drilled. Nowadays, because of modern geophysical operations, high-quality seismic data, you can reverse that to where there's only 1 dry well out of 10 wells drilled. So it's not an option, it is a requirement.
I think seismic in general, and in particular this 3D, is it helps give the companies a better snapshot of what's underground. It's going to help them to analyze their lease, figure out where are good places to drill, and I think just as importantly, it's going to help them on places where not to drill. And that's good for the Forest Service too, because we want to try to get all the natural gas out and still protect the resources. And if we've got some good educated data, where to go and where not to go, that's where we all need to be.
So this gas and oil has really been good for us. Well, it's been good for the motel, it's been good for the restaurant, and it's been good for all my other competitors around me. It's been good for all of us. It's been good for the whole county.